Welcome to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where real people share timeless ideas. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and in every episode we dive into the philosophies, quotes, points, and life lessons that shape how we live, think, and grow. No matter where you are in life, this show is here to remind you wisdom is everywhere, and it's always relatable most of the times. Tell me your name and what you do.
My name is Andrew Bolton. I'm the CEO of Tech Rescue, a 24-hour customer support hotline here in the United States. We handle everything from Bluetooth connectivity to odds and end things to even video games now. We specialize in senior care and small businesses. Our main business is primarily on the senior care, 65 and older. And what makes our services unique is that we're not chatbots, we're not robots, we're real people. And because we're 24 hours a day with real people, we actually get to talk to the people that we help, and we've adjusted our business models accordingly. So yeah, that's what we do. We put people back into the business of business.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for being on the podcast today. What's the quote you want to share with me today? One of your favorite quotes, life lesson you put in there was, um, you can choose your choices, but you cannot choose
Yes.
your consequences. Yeah. Right. So I
Yeah.
want us to have a conversation about that quote.
Yeah. So that that quote, I think came to me actually from listening to different podcasts.
Okay.
One of the things I don't really like watching TV all that much. I do like podcasts because um they give me a wide variety of topics that I can listen to in an hour, astrophysics and things like that. Psychology is something that we've really started diving into. It's our business, really. It's our business model. And I think it was Caldone or Fresh and Fit, or it was one of them in that space that gave a really powerful quote. You can choose your choices, you can't choose your consequences. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to learn that.
Would you be so kind to share with us, the, the experience that taught you that lesson the hard way?
Yeah. I lost somebody very, very special to me that was very close.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it was my fault. It was my fault. And I'm actually, I know it's sad to say, but I'm actually glad I had that experience because it woke me up. I'm 36 years old. I'm divorced. Uh, I'm climbing out of 5 years of divorce. For anybody that's never been on that side of it, it's like getting into a bad car wreck. That's the best way to describe it. You're driving down the highway and a car comes out of the left lane that you never even saw coming and comes into a full head-on crash, and it, you're not prepared for it. So I started dating and I met somebody, and a 2-year relationship, and I made some wrong choices. I consciously made wrong choices. And in today's society where we think that we live in a world of instant gratification, we live in a world of me, me, me. We live in a world of what can I get? What can I do? I fell victim to it too. I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid in buckets. I drank the Kool-Aid. I did
Thank
my
you.
choices. I made those active choices in my life, and you can make those choices. You can choose. You can choose your choices. You just can't choose the consequences that come after.
Yeah. I'm curious, right?
Mm.
When there was this, I like to do the snap of finger, when there was this wake up call, what exactly in your choices changed, right? The moment there was that
It wasn't
switch.
a snap of a finger. It was after she left, I started going through the stages of grief, shock, anger, bargaining, and, start going down this thing. Now, the one thing that I did differently in my life is I stopped running. Um, not out of choice, not out of choice, because there was nowhere to run to. I ran out of road. At 36, I ran out of road. There's nowhere for me to duck, dodge, and weave and make excuses for myself. There's nowhere to go. There's no more left to go. There's no more. So it all catches up to you finally. And I had to sit in it, and I'm still sitting in it. And I take notes and I write down how I feel and why I feel that way and what triggered it and, how can I learn from this? And therapy helps. I've completed right now 164 hours of therapy. I'm 164 hours of therapy in, and it's not easy. It's not fun,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
but my relationship with people has improved.
Yeah.
My relationship with my father never existed, and now it does. My mother, who's the CFO of my company, our relationship has never been better. Yes. Did I make these choices? And yes, were there consequences? Absolutely. I lost my best friend, the love of my life, my partner, the life that we were going to build together with the company and everything else. So there's not just the loss of this person.
Yeah.
It's everything that came with it. Her family, I had a sister, I had a niece, I had cousins, I had a father, I had a mother, I had a life. Completely this incorporating world that I built with my bare hands. With my bare hands in time, 2 years, I built this life. I had a family. I had 2 families. I was supporting a family. I built this whole new life for myself after 5 years in the divorce, and I ruined it. Choices have
Oh,
consequences.
these have consequences. I'm
Choices have
curious
consequences.
for for those consequences, as much as we cannot choose our consequences. Sometimes the thing about being an adult, and that's the thing why the difference between an adult and a child is that as a child, certain things a child would do, they're like, oh, he's not quote unquote, he's not knowledgeable enough, he doesn't really know those things, he's not mature, he doesn't know his left from right. So like, let's not charge him for that thing. Let's take a quick pause. If you're enjoying this conversation and want more thought-provoking ideas straight to your inbox, join the Relatable Wisdom email list. It's free, quick, and filled with bite-sized insights, inspiring quotes, and behind-the-scenes reflections from our guests. Just head to relatablewisdom.com/join. That is relatablewisdom.com/join, or tap the link in the show notes. And hey, subscribing to the podcast helps more than you think, and it's free. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button wherever you're listening. All right, let's get back to the conversation. As an adult, certain things you just like, oh, you're an adult, you know what you're doing. The age of accountability, yeah, that's the word. The age of accountability. And for the consequences, what I feel that if we make knowledgeable choices, we get to choose by what we choose. We get to choose the consequences the, we we want because every action we take has an opportunity cost, right?
Of
Both whether it's a
course.
good action, whether it's a bad
Absolutely.
action, it has the things that we would say no to because we've said yes to this thing.
I'm in a very unique position. There's a lot of talk in the world about red pill, blue pill. What's a man's
Yeah.
role? What's a woman's role? For people like me, we're in a very unique position. The ability of abundantness allows for opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that got me in trouble in the first place can now be amplified and maximized to their ultimate potential. So the question now comes, have I learned my lesson? That's the difference between a child and an adult. Is we know many adults who are still children. They repeat the same mistakes
Yeah.
over and over again, thinking that the results are going to be different, or this time something different is going to happen. The difference between an adult and a child, and this is universal across every race, creed, religion, philosophy, or education. Are you willing to make a change? You know what you're doing is wrong. You know what you did was wrong. Did you learn from it? And I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, I don't know, because I haven't been tested like that yet. I haven't been tested. I'm in the recovery process. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be tested yet. And that's the difference also from a child and adult, is knowing yourself. I've never had to sit in my own failure. I've never had to sit really with the results of my actions. I've always moved fast enough. That was the secret to it all in my youth, is that I moved fast enough to not feel it. If you can outrun the pain, do you ever feel pain? And if you don't feel pain, are you actually hurt?
If you don't feel pain and
Well,
you're actually hot,
when you can't run no more,
everything just comes
yeah,
tumbling down.
there were some rough days. There were some rough days, some weeks that were there were some weeks that were not good. There were some very rough weeks. And I think growing up and learning from wisdom is then asking yourself, all right, do you want to feel this way again? Pain is a very, very powerful reminder of not to do something.
Yeah, it is.
And if you never experience pain, you don't learn that don't do that. The other question is, and this is one as a societal question instead of an individual one. And it always then boils back down to an individual question is when is enough enough? What are you looking for? What's important to you? Because life, you can make life whatever you want it to be, right? You can make life whatever you want it to be. You can treat relationships like leasing a car. You can have a brand new one every 2 years. There's no rule in the rule book that says you can't. There's no law on the books that say you have to be married, you have to have a monogamous relationship. You can do whatever you want. But just remember, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, and there's a cost at everything. That's the thing
Yeah,
that I'm learning hardest about life now is that there is a cost. You just may not see it, but there is a cost to everything.
yeah.
Choice A versus choice B. Which is more
It's a,
important?
it's a good thing you brought up the thing of cost. Is that sometimes we see. I'll give an example, right? Let's say this microphone I'm holding, and I'm like, yeah, you want to, let's say you want to start a podcast, and I'm like, yeah, this mic sounds nice, I should get this mic. And I tell you that, well, this mic I'll give you for $1 million. Now we don't pay attention to the cost, right, that it takes. We're like, oh yeah, the mic sounds nice, it's good, it's nice. And guess what, you spend $1 million to get a mic, and you go your home break, everything, all this stuff, and then you realize that, dude, I mean, the mic is good, it's nice, but it's not something I should spend $1 million to get for. Like, why would I spend that kind of money for? And most people will look at the price, we look at everything, but we don't spend time to say, okay, this cost, is this something I'm willing to pay? Is it worth this trade for me? Am I being cheated? Will this thing be a fair trade? Is it fair game?
That's a fairly good example. I'll give you one that relates to this, but it's the cost that you don't add up.
Okay.
So, for those who have monogamy issues, there's a wide variety of us nowadays. The world has made it that way. But for those with monogamy issues, let's weigh out the cost. The cost, right? So let's start on day one. Day one after you get caught. It's done, it's over. Day one. You now have to add up every day that it takes you to go ahead from start, just picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, to now going back out into the market, filtering through all that has been taking place in the past, let's say 2 years that I have not been in the dating world.
Yeah.
So we now have to start on day one and go through the entire process all over again of going out, meeting, talking, filtering, meeting, talking, filtering, testing, going through all that process. Let's say, how many months does that take to actually meet a compatible person in your life? 3, 6 months? That's 6 months. That's a prison sentence. That's a short-term walk. That's a 180-day DUI, right? You're doing
Yeah.
time. You're doing time, really.
Yeah.
You're sentencing yourself to punishment in time. Okay. So let's say 6 months. Those 6 months, that's time. Now, how much time did you spend talking to people and how many dates did you go on? Right. So let's say that's to get to the 6-month mark. Let's say you went through, I don't know, maybe 12 dates. Well, if every date, let's say, is $50, coffee, and let's keep it very simple, just straight math. At $50, 12 dates, that's $600 out of your pocket that didn't have to leave. Let's say
Yeah.
you're a little bit more expensive. Let's say you're a $100 date kind of guy. Well, that's $1,200. That's $1,200 out of your pocket, that you didn't have to spend. You just wasted 6 months of your life going through 12 different people, filtering candidates like an interview process, and $1,200 out of your life. For what? For what? The choices have a cost. Choices have a cost.
Yeah.
And now I'm in my personal life, in my corporate life, but in my life now we got to start all over again. And the worst part about that is I haven't even hit day one yet. I'm not even mentally, emotionally, I don't even want to think about that. So guess what? However long I'm in this process, plus that process,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
choice has a consequence. Every choice. Same with
Yeah.
business.
Oh,
Every choice we make has a
Yeah.
consequence.
Yeah. Um, at the very beginning of the, thank you so much for sharing the quotes, and just thank you so much for having a conversation about it with me and for helping me make sense of it. At the beginning of the conversation, before we started going to the quote, you mentioned the company, and you explained the concepts, quickly. I'd love for you to just talk about what the company is, and yeah.
So Tech Rescue is a 24-hour customer support hotline. No
Okay.
robots, no chatbots, no nothing. We have real people on the other end of the line. The number is 855-250-8586, or you can visit us at www.techrescue.io. And really what it came about is my grandmother was sick and tired of just not having help when she needed it. My father, same way. He just needed help. He's a grumpy, grouchy old man that just wants things to work. He just wants them to work.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get people to do that. So we made a company for that. We made a company that takes your problems. We solve the problem for you right then and there. For $34.99 a month, you can call us however long you want. You can call us as many times as you want, every day, once a week, once a month. We're here for you when you need help. When you need help. So
Yeah.
for $34 a month, we're here for you. We are a white glove concierge service for you, ma'am or sir, whenever you need help. 24 hours a
Yeah.
day, 7 days a week. And really what it is knowing that people have a peace of mind. At the end of the day, people just want to connect. They want somebody on the other end of a phone to be a real person to help me solve this problem. I don't need a maze. I don't need a robot. I don't need a list of options. I don't need a library. I don't want to watch a video how to do it, because if I wanted to do that, I would have done that. If I
Yeah.
wanted to look up how to do it myself, I would have done that. I'm calling because it's too frustrating, it's too hard, or I just want it done. I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. If I'm calling a company, is because I've tried it, I've looked it up, and now I want you to solve it for me. Like, I paid you money, I want it to work, now make it work. It's not a hard concept. And
Yeah.
we
I
made
mean,
a company that is exactly like that. We're here to help you when you want the help.
if I, yeah, can listeners take the next step? What's the word now? Sign up for the
Mhm,
the
mhm.
the service. Yeah.
You can sign up online or call. We're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's 855-250-8586. And you can visit us at www.techrescue.io.
Okay. Oh, that's techrescue.io. I'll be sure to put the links in the description and the show notes so listeners can just click and go directly to the site. Thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing your story
Thank you
with
for
me
having us.
and just having a relaxed conversation. You've been listening to Relatable Wisdom, and I've been your host, Wisdom Okonkwo. You've been listening to the podcast where every story, quote, and insight helps you see life a little differently. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the show on your favorite podcast app and share it with someone who loved the conversation. For more inspiring voices and timeless wisdom, visit relatablewisdom.com. Until next time, keep living, learning, and collecting wisdom that matters most to you.